Welcome back to Project Ozone 3 KAPPA mode, and the skyblock must grow. In fact, it's not going to be just skyblock. If you're not aware, Project Ozone 3 has many dimensions, and we'll have to get to them all, well, not exactly soon, but some of them we can get to fairly soon. Regardless, new episode. So episode 5, I think we're on, and a few things you're going to need to want to do. First of all, down there, grow some rice. You can see my solar panel network. Grow some rice. You're going to need it for vector plates, because today we're getting into a mob farm. Also, just saying, swanky armor, really odd colors. But I also made a new platform for the mob farm. So, yep, I'll show you that in a second. We're not going to show building these things on camera. They're very, very standard stuff. And you'll see also, most of the torches are actually gone. Yes, they're gone with these. They're white lamps from Tiny Progressions. They're made with just pretty much torches and glass and not much else. And they're much cleaner look than torches. And also not flammable if you drop them. So yeah, there is a good benefit. So yeah, here's our mob farm. Standard 11 by 11 interior with vector plates. Now that vector plates are what you're going to need the rice for. You can make them into rice slime balls, and from there you can get that all going. You put those vector plates on top of dirt. You make this as large as you want, but I went for 11 by 11, sort of standard sort of size. And on the roof, you can see my trivial approach to lots and lots of light to keep it safe, which is just redstone lamps and levers. That can be improved much better in a little while, but just a very crude thing to get started. And you'll see this center block here has, well, something missing. Because we're going to need something to kill all the mobs, and we're going to need something to spawn all the mobs. So down here, you'll see I have that same stone piece surrounded by dirt. So dirt is a middle layer between the vector plates and this bottom stone layer. So in the middle, we're going to put a mob masher and its upgrades. Also, the dirt is there because I need to be able to convert this into cursed earth. And to do that, well, we're going to need to go to the Nether. We need something called a drop of evil, and it only drops from wither skeletons, which are best found in nether fortresses. So I went there. Oh, yeah, I put this in. I'll show you that in a second. I went there, and two things. One, lots of loot bags. The loot bags I emptied out into this chest, and the mob drops are dropped in this one. You see, one drop of evil. So this amount of loot for one drop of evil over at a nether fortress. Your world may differ, of course, if you're not following my particular seed. If you are following my particular seed, why don't I just show you where that is? So from our entry position here in the Nether, if you have a look here on the map, I've got a Nether Fortress tunnel. That's just basically a tunnel I dug straight sort of that way. And it looks like it's crossing lava, but it's not. It's much higher than we are right now, so it's actually safe. And it enters this Nether Fortress at the top levels where there is a couple of blaze spawners and, of course, wither skeletons and lots of terror and running around. Otherwise than that, we're just running across here, which doesn't take too long. Later on, we'd like some kind of dislocation charm or something to get us there, but I think the dislocation is expensive. Dislocator. Yeah, so we have these pedestals. The pedestals themselves are a portal controller, which is electrotine, portal frames, and black quartz. None of that is actually too bad. However, the dislocator themselves, it has things we just don't have. Like draconium. I mean, lunar dust we can make, or sorry, lunar dust we can get from the Nether. Draconium dust, that's going to have to wait. And then ender dust, no, and other things too. Advanced dislocator, that's going to be useful as well. But what are you doing here? Okay, and a loot bag. So now speaking of my extreme shuriken here, it's now on depth level. So it got to the point where I make it unbreakable. So once it got to unbreakable, it's infinite use. So, you know, you can just keep like this, and it's basically a beam of death. Or except for the fact that these do fall off after a little while, so you don't have unlimited range just yet. Then I replaced one of the blades with manulin blades. So that, was it manulin? I think it was manulin. I need the actual thing, but I think it was actual manulin that we made. That is very useful. It gives it a couple of properties that you're going to use. One of which is insatiable, the other one's cold-blooded. Basically, one gives a high damage to the first hit as long as the mob's on 100%, and the other one I can never remember, but it's more damage, basically. Over here, what I normally do is then put an Enderium knife blade on it. However, don't. I cast the Enderium knife blade once I got a couple of ender pearls. I'll show you those in a second. But you can see here it gives you Ender, so it gives you double damage to Ender mobs and Ender Festation. Mining blocks have a chance of spawning in Enderite. That's not much of a problem because we're not mining with this thing. But the problem with that's not what I expected from an Enderium knife blade. What used to happen on Enderium knife blades, I think it was a plus tick, plus TIC, was that you got basically no fall off. So basically, it didn't ever. You could just shoot infinite range, and it would also hit Enderman. Which is extremely useful as well. Nothing could port away from it. You would just do that. That's changed now to a different, I think it's just called like end rod or knife. Well, if you type in knife blade, I think it's the end stuff. So bamboo, no, it's the yellowish one. So knife blade at the end, interference. That's the one that we actually want. And also end speed is something else. So yeah, end speed is the thing that makes it go forever. Interference, mobs can't teleport away. However, I can't get to that just yet. I don't think that requires molten end steel, and I don't think we can make that. Question mark. Not sure how that's even made, so I'll have to look that up. Regardless, we got a loot bag. What's in the loot bag? It's 4 marshmallows. Okay, 4 marshmallows is many civilizations would not have fallen with these on their side. They're from nuclear craft. Anyway, that's that. We can put that away. A couple of things I made was one, this hang glider, very dangerous in a void world, but will let you get around in the Nether safely over short gaps of lava. Do be aware though, you can't really go up with it, so you have to nerd pole up if you want to go back up, or some other method for that kind of thing. And a white backpack that's just made from strings and string and sticks. So over here, I put everything into a storage drawer system that was sort of mass produced. Pretty much removed all the stuff from in this central area, as you might imagine. And then over here, I put the furnaces back in. So in our system here, I put the ineffable glass so I could just walk through. I've started replacing these with the diamond meshes. Everything else is exactly the same up here, as you saw last episode, but down here is a little bit different. So what this is doing is anything from the smeltery comes down here into the system. Anything from there goes into the system. Anything that's instead is, you know, an ore of some kind goes out to this chest, which then goes into these 2 furnaces, which you can see are processing. These 2 furnaces have a few upgrades. So the electric fuel upgrade, the speed upgrade, and the ore processing upgrade are all very simple to make at this point. So I won't cover them other than doing that. This one has got electric fuel upgrade as well, because all of these are now fed by electricity. And electricity is coming from out here, where I moved up to solar panel 6. 7 is getting a little bit excessive. Well, I don't think we can actually make solar panel 7. Solar panel VII? What's VII? It is 4 of these. I only had 2, that was why. And also Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath. So yeah, we can't go any further. However, each one of these produces 2,000 FE per tick. That's 4,000. Each of these can process 1,000 in, 1,000 out. You can't make the next tiers of these, at least not at this stage. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and I want to put a 4th one in there when I get time. And otherwise, I've upgraded to hardened flux duct, which is easy enough to make, and that will transport 4,000 RF per tick, basically. So that goes in here, and then we've got our resources, and now they're being produced automatically. So let me show you that. In here, I set up pulverizers, and this is very straightforward to do. We've got cobblestone generators at the back there, and 3 of them, because there's not enough resources being produced otherwise. They go into these 3 boxes, which then feed into this first network, which goes into a pulverizer. That one goes from cobblestone to gravel, also produces a sand occasionally. Any sand is going to just go out into the network, because this is producing 2 things that go into the network. So it gets pushed out of this side and into these boxes, which only accept, you know, exactly what they need. This one also accepts a cobblestone, but then it separates things. So the sand goes into the network again. The gravel goes to that one, which then gets turned into sand, and any, you know, excessive products come out as well. And then the third setup, exactly the same: gravel, sand, and then dust. Well, yes, dust will be what comes out. All of them come back out, all into these, straightforward. Had some problems. So I'm not sure if this is something that is just unsolvable with a single sifter. But what tends to happen with a sifter is, if you just, I have switches on these. Let me just go back out and show you the switches. I have switches on them because if you don't put switches on them, what tends to happen is, let's say this one's got 45 stacks, this one's got 116. Let's say this has got one in it, like one single gravel. Let's say it's been churning through gravel and it's got one left. So the sieves upstairs start to churn it. They start to sieve it through, sift it, whatever you want to call it. And this one then gets pulled into the network and goes into the sifter again. Another one gets produced, pulled into the sifter again. It gets blocked by just a couple of items being in place. And I also maybe wanted a little bit more control. So all I did was set those things to those two. Well, let's go and show you again. Oh, I forgot what the entrance is. I also set these reinforced servos to just basically have redstone control on. And then I can turn on these switches whenever I want, and then it'll start going processing stuff. So, for example, if we want, what is it, diamonds. So diamonds are very useful. I'm putting partly through upgrading them right now. So in here, in the sifting, we know we're going to get them from gravel. Okay, gravel happens to have 21 stacks, so I can turn that on, and then that's going to start processing. Now, it's worthwhile, even at this point, to start upgrading these with the diamond ones as soon as you get enough diamonds, because some of this you can see is getting sifted in the diamond ones already, and you double your chance of getting diamonds if you're using the diamond meshes. So yes, we're getting diamonds through here, so very worthwhile doing. Otherwise, it's pretty much a standard setup. And again, these white lamps. I did, however, I did upgrade this. We're now going at 28 rotational speed, which means there's 56 water wheels in a row. I have enough room for 64 just because it's a stack, and that seems like the usual Minecraft thing, which I will upgrade to eventually, but this is already processing pretty fast, and I'm very pleased with it. You may also notice I'm running around faster and can jump higher. Yes, because there's ability bottles in this mod pack. So ability totem is right here. This is for saturation. I can't use this yet, I don't think. No, because I need like 58 player levels. So in here, my ability bottle, you don't need to carry it around with you. Right click it, you'll see I've got jump boost level 2, speed level 5, and step assist level 1. Step assist is the dangerous one in the void world, of course, because if you have one high walls, you can step up over and out into space. Yeah. So ability bottles, how do you get these? Well, you trade in your racks for these in the quest line. So up here in the quest lines, alpha, not alpha. Let me just lock that open. I wish it would remember to lock that open between sessions, between gaming sessions. Here you can see I've got saturation, step assist, speed, and jump boost. You can take multiple of each. I took the maximum speed, 2 jump boosts, 1 step assist, which I may turn off. You can turn it off quite easily just by taking your ability bottle and step assist here. You can then just click it and then click this right, and it will give you the XP back, which is important because you could upgrade to saturation. But then it stays in the ability bottle for later use again. So you don't lose anything, and it's all kind of good. Let's get rid of that loot. So a few things I want to get started today. Mod farm, that's all ready. If you've got any questions, by the way, about anything you've seen so far, do let me know in the comments. You are also going to need some basically sugarcane, because sugar is used for the vector plates, I think. Is it vector plates? Vector plates. I've only got for the basic version. What's the higher version? Dark sugar, which just needs sugar and wither dust. And yeah, I don't really have any of those things. So regular vector plates it is. Slime ball and sugar you can make with rice and with sugar, obviously. And you get 8 of them. You're going to need a couple of stacks at least if you want 11 by 11. So do make enough. These are my remaining solar panels. However, I did get a couple of, before we get started on the mob farm, I did get a couple of ender pearls. Those ender pearls are going to be useful because I'm going to upgrade this bag to something else. I don't like using bags like this. I prefer it to be an ender bag? Ender bag? No, ender pouch. Yes, ender pouch. Just need some blaze powder, which we've got, ender pearl or friender pearl, white wool, etc., etc. You can make one. I'm going to make one of those, and also an ender chest. Okay, the chest. There we go. And those blaze rods, white wool, obsidian chests, and again, the friender pearl. I did get a friender pearl, so I will use one of those. Some other things that are very useful from the occasional loot bags. You probably want to keep these nebulous hearts. They get converted straight into 3 ender pearls. So if you have those, we're about to have a lot more of these. So don't worry about this. You just want a couple to get started. If you're around in there, that you will pick up loot bags, so they're kind of useful to pick up. Lastly, is there anything in here that I wanted to highlight? These are mob drops. Sorry, that one's loot bags. These come out of loot bags. Is there anything I want to highlight? No, just the drop of evil, really. That's the main one. And don't lose it. You're gonna need it. Okay, so let's get on with just crafting those couple of ender chest things, and I'll do that off camera. Okay, ender chest made, or at least a couple of them. I've put 3 down. I've got some more ingredients left. I could make another one if I need to. This is ender pouches. I'm going to need 2 of these. This is my usual setup, so if you've seen my other playthroughs, you know what I'm going to do here. 1 triple white is my input to basically the storage drawer system, so if I want anything while I'm out and around, I can use the white ender pouch. Yeah. Okay, and then if I want to have a storage box for other stuff, I want another type of ender chest entirely. So I'm going to just basically bone meal some grass. I got some orange dye from orange flowers. You can just convert them by just putting them into your crafting inventory. And then I'm just going to convert that all to triple orange. So now it does not open at the same time as that one. Good. So that's a different inventory entirely, which means I can take this other ender pouch, shift right click, and it will turn it orange, which means this one opens this one opens that one. Good. So then this one will have this one in it. And we now have double the amount of storage I had. So I'm just going to dump, excuse me. I'm just going to dump all these flowers and other stuff in here. We don't need those just yet. But I will want this around. It is persistent, so if I die, I will not lose anything in this inventory, which means I can put all my fancy stuff in here that I want to keep and use around all over the place. So that can go away. I did craft the builder's gadgets, but I don't have something to charge them with yet. If anyone knows of any early game method of charging these things, I would like to hear about it. I did look for a few options, but none of them were particularly early game. There was things like the Wiles Charger, Ender IO. We don't have that yet. There is Spectre Coils. We can't get to those yet, I don't think. Spectre Coils. Transfers, there's like a wireless version I think of these or something like that, and that is into Spectre ingots. We'll get to Spectre stuff later. So yeah, if there's anything, and by the way, these don't have a slot in them for dropping in items. These are not items that you can drop in. These are for upgrades to the solar panels. So yeah, that's out of the question for the moment. With that in mind, I can then take the stuff out of here maybe. In fact, no, I think I actually want to leave that in there because that's a different kind of inventory. Yeah, different kind of inventory. It is still player stuff, but it's just stuff for around here. So now I can just pick this up. Takes a little bit of time because it's made of obsidian, of course, and just dump this down there. Cool. So now I have a portable inventory. I don't need you anymore. You can go away. And everything is nice and compact. We don't have anything yet for keeping these if we die. And that's my main concern, and particularly that shrieking. It's very hard to actually come by. So yes, not sure what to do about that yet. Maybe just keep it into my in my ender pouch unless I actually need it. And we're done. So on to a mob farm next. So what I also did was craft the other ender chest. Yeah, crafted the other one because we can then send anything from up here to all the way over there without putting it through those slow item ducts. We'll get on to faster item ducts soon. But essentially, we can have, maybe one of these, and then just like an overflow box or 2. It's going to be coming out of the top, I imagine. So I'm probably, yeah, it's going to have to come out of the top because I need to extract stuff from here. Yeah. So if I then put, I don't know, maybe ender chest and then that, hopefully it'll pick the first one. If not, we can come back and rearrange this, and that is going to be where we're going to get stuff from. So then let's talk about what we're going to have in here. We're going to need the mob masher, and we're also going to need some way of extracting stuff. Now, the extracting stuff, you might think, given that we have the accumulators, we could use those, but we can't really because we also want XP extracting, and XP isn't produced by the accumulators, if I remember rightly. Let's just turn that off for a second, just in case there's any more coming through. Don't think these handle it. Nothing to my knowledge. So we can then make absorption hoppers, I think is the other one. Absorb shoppers. Let's just go for hopper. Should be under there if it's still in the pack. Floating hopper should be around here somewhere. Or vacuum hoppers, that's the other one. I'm not sure if they're the same mod or not. Omnidirectional hopper, blaze hopper. No, doesn't look like it's in there. And of course, it was my problem. Even English people can't spell English words. It's absorption, not absorption. The single word is absorb. And then we just change it to a P because, hey, English, who knows? Anyway, there is a charm absorption. Gives 10 absorption hearts every 8 minutes. What's that made with? Golden apple superium. We're not to superium yet. And the absorption hopper itself. So the absorption hopper is much easier. It's blaze. Ooh, Kammonite blend. Can we make that? Yes, we can. It's just clay and sand and some blaze and an ender pearl. And we get an eye of ender. And then we combine that with some obsidian and stuff like that. So let's just get 3 obsidian, a hopper. Let's just dump that in one of these crafting benches. Kind of handy to have that out. And then it's just clay and sand, isn't it? So, well, sand is easy now. And clay, I think I've got some clay left. I could set up the clay machine again if I need more. But I think I've got some around. There we go, 8 Kammonite blend. And that can just be combined with the blaze rod and then one of the ender pearls. Oh, I've got 1 left. Good, good, I have those left. And that's 1, 2, and 3. So Eye of Ender. And then the Eye of Ender can get combined. There we go. So there's the absorption hopper. Now, for the mob masher, you need a few more things. You're going to need lots of swords. So I have a crafting bench for swords. They don't stack anything. So I keep my inventory clean. You're going to convert a few of them, or 2 of them at least, into iron spikes. No, we're not going to use this for mobs to drop onto this particular playthrough. And those iron spikes combine with a couple more swords and diamonds, block of redstone, block of iron, into the mob masher itself. So that's good. And then there are these crafting grids set up because the mob masher has a whole bunch of upgrades. And of course, we want the upgrades. There are ones I would like are the mob masher upgrade, which is lots of swords. Again, I was talking about swords. I need 10 of those. So I need like 40 swords. And this one has the same thing, but for looting. So obviously we want more loot out of them. So again, lapis. So again, I would like 40 lapis. I would also like the beheading one, but the beheading one of these different helmets that I'm wearing, and it's electro nuggets. That takes a bit more, and I don't need monster heads just yet, but we can easily upgrade that later. So for the moment, I just want like a stack of you, and then I want a stack of swords. Oh, I want 40 swords. Oh, okay. Let me just make sure that this is not going to produce too many. There we go. And lots and lots of swords. There we go. So we can easily convert these over, and then we can set things up. We just need a bit of item duct, some servos, and I think that's it. Yeah, a lever as well. Here we are. Mob masher set up in the middle. We've got the absorption hopper in the middle, and I don't know what the range of it. Well, we can see what the range of it now is with the area here. So what I could actually do is actually make this a little bit better just by getting this back for a second, and then maybe offsetting it one upstairs. Can we actually do that outside? Will it absorb through the roof? That would be good if it did. We don't need that bit. And then we can just deal with it outside. So let's just show the area again. And I want to offset up and down. So we're going to offset, is it negative? Yes. Okay, -4. That's as far as it goes. And that is certainly enough to cover the inside of the room. So that is good enough for pretty much everything that will drop, I think. Although, can we actually increase its range a little bit in X and Y or not? I want to say no, it's not going to let us do that, but it's the center of the area anyway, which should pull everything in just fine. And then we can choose where we want stuff to be outputted to. So I want to set up a couple of things. One is, I think blue is going to be, yeah, item, and south, I want to set that to fluid. And fluid is going to be our XP that we're going to be using for other things. Oh, I shouldn't fall like that. Oh. Anyway, the XP for other things. I don't have anything right now. I need more ender pearls first to craft ender tanks, which just really help with this whole thing. Again, just like ender chest, except it needs some ender pearls there. So probably going to just get away with a drum, and reinforced drum should be easy enough. And hopefully, it retains its fluids. So that is just some iron, some witty pressure plates, which is iron, and cauldron, which is iron. So I don't need any blocks of iron. And then some diamonds, some gold, and we should be good to go. So let's just get some iron. I've got now only 354 stacks of iron. I did have to upgrade this twice with emerald upgrades. So yeah, lots of iron coming out of our system. And we got 52 diamonds, so that should be more than enough for this. And let's get a stack of gold as well. And that should be done. So 1 iron drum, please. That's 1 cauldron. And I would like 2 of you. We may need more of these in future for different things. There tend to be a lot of fluids needed in these expert packs, so yeah, it is worthwhile having. There's our drum. Here's our larger drum. And then there is a further one, demonically gargantuan drum, which has demon ingots, so we're not doing that just yet. Okay, it's not happening. Fine, so up here then, I need to eat. That's the other thing, I guess, with moving this fast, you tend to use up a lot more food, so do make sure you have a food source. And here is, for now, our reinforced large drum. That should connect, I would imagine. And then on this side, what we can actually do, just temporarily, is get rid of you for a second and do that. So I should be safe up here from actually grabbing stuff, which means I can probably put some... Oh, need to go inside. I can just put something in for safety there to make sure, one, there's no light comes in other than the light that I want to come in. And otherwise, it's all going to be sealed. And that's good with me as well. So let's just pop that down and grab you. Falling off again. And we should be ready to go, I think. Yeah, looks pretty good. And then it'll all appear in our other system once that's the case. We could test it, of course, just by turning off the lights, and then we should get some spawns in there, I imagine. Let's turn them all off. I can connect these up with redstone, don't worry. It's not going to be this many levers to disable the system. But at least we'll have some way of doing that, and I need a single piece of... Let's fall off again. Single lever on the bottom to turn on the mob masher. Otherwise, nothing will get killed. So, one you, one of you. Where's my sticks? There's my sticks. Is it just me that always gets it the wrong way around because it's stone on the top here, wood on the bottom, but those are the wrong way around? Is it just me? Just me? Or is everyone, you know, similarly annoyed by that? Or maybe you weren't annoyed until I just mentioned it and now you can't unsee it. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, so we can hear something inside. And goodbye. Okay, so the mob masher's on and clearly it is killing stuff. Which should mean our stuff will get exported into this box. Oh, there it is. And yes, it's already been put into the system. So yes, that works. And we just need to speed it up. Now, the problem with doing this, connecting it to the system, I should say. Let me just turn that off because this is going to be a... Yeah, this is going to be a problem otherwise. Let's just disable you. Okay. Is that the stuff in here is going to go into this storage drawer system, and I don't really have a huge amount of storage drawers here. It needs to be expanded upwards, and even that can have some problems. So some of these things should start popping in. You see zombie heads, etc. But they're not where I want them potentially. But it's nice to have the mob drops anyway, and we get some XP that lets me just shift right click and get that done. So yeah, our mob farm is working. We just have to convert it over to Drop of Evil. As soon as you want to do that, that's easy. Oh, that's where all the swords went. I was wondering why I needed more swords, and I got it all wrong. They all went into the box next to it. Oh well, what was I saying? Yes, I've forgotten. Oh yes, I was saying too much stuff, not enough space to actually store it in. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep it in a single storage drawer system or not. I think I probably will. I just need to build more drawers. I've got 37 of them. The other way of getting Drop of Evil is to do exactly this and not go to the Nether, by the way. So if you're still not gone to the Nether while watching this, you can get them out of here because occasionally you'll get them dropped. And you can see we have some wither skeletons popping in here anyway. So plenty of stuff. And also we have some processing to actually do. We got some loot bags. So Soul Valve of a Shulker, that is can be very useful later. Shulkers have a particular property which lets them pick up stuff, and then you can clone them, or you used to be able to. So that'll be good as well, if that's still the case. If anyone lets me know in the comments if it's not, and I'm sure we'll find another way around it if not. Black Lotus, also very useful. And then we're down to, just common ender pearls again. Yeah, all this is handy. Ooh, staff of traveling. Very useful too. So yeah, you're going to get lots of stuff, and all of that stuff I just did manually, we should be able to do with a bag opener. Yes, bag opener. Loot bags. So it's very simple recipe with just a chest, some silver, some lapis lazuli, and what we want to do ideally is have that pull anything out of here, or go through a buffer chest first, have all of the bags go one way, and the other stuff go the other way. So I'm just going to get rid of you. Hopefully this isn't going to actually suck it downstairs. Nope, because we're nice and safe on top. And then we're going to do a couple of things. So one is move you. Okay, you can just sit here. It's our buffer chest. It will be filling fine. And then how we're going to do this, I'm going to send things left and right. So I do want, or I'm going to have the slow system of item ducts. We're going to make some fast ones soon, I promise. And then we'll have a bag opener and the chest going the other way. Okay, like that. And I'll sort it out. In the meantime, however, I'm just going to stuff all of this ordinary stuff. I think this is all from there, apart from these basic drawers. And all of you can go in there as well. We've already got a lot of stuff that I actually need to store. But 12 ender pearls, good. It's going to be pretty much unlimited amounts once it actually gets going. So now all of our problems are gone, and we haven't even converted it to Drop of Evil farm yet. There you see the effect. Everything's now feeding in after going through the bag opener. You just basically send any bags through the mod owner thing on a filter to go that way and block it from the other way, and then have that come out and go into the bag. So here you are. Let's just pop up here. Simple enough. In it'll go, because this one is blacklisting anything from that mod. It goes out into here, comes out of here, back into this, which will then take it. So then it all comes back across and gets put into our storage drawer system, which is probably about to be overwhelmed by sheer amounts of random stuff, or at least it will do when I just use one item, which is this. And let's go and see what happens. This is probably going to get a little bit noisy. I do apologize, but you're probably going to get quite a few things here. So right click. Okay, and everything started spawning. I'll fill this in with proper stone later. There we go. And that should continue spawning whether or not I'm near it or not, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But of course we can turn it off still with the levers upstairs. So now we should be able to see if I just grab my, where is it? My other bag. There it is. Grab my other bag, and we're starting to get stuff popping in here, like pumpkin seeds. And otherwise, everything should be just populating our storage drawer system, which may become quite inadequate even with these 2x2 drawers. We will see over time. So that's that built. A few other upgrades. We've got automatic, well, fully automatic resource stuff coming in. Lots of diamonds, which is important. Lots of mob resources, which is also important. And we're ready to go on to the next episode. As always, guys, hope you enjoyed watching. If you have, feel free to give a like down below and subscribe if you're not already. Get more notifications by clicking on the bell. And, well, our mob farm's going and producing us lots of, I say junk. Well, it is going to be junk. In fact, let's hope this is actually being pulled in, right? It's just not being extracted yet. You're on. It is being extracted. It just takes time. Yeah. So that's where we may need to speed up this servo, and indeed these item ducts. We'll get onto that next episode along with some other upgrades. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.